Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. Today on Bitcoin and Coffee, we're going to talk about Burst. I did some research into it yesterday, a couple things in the news, and the marketplace. So let's start with the marketplace. We got Bitcoin coming in at $1,218 at the moment. This is a drop from yesterday. We've seen resistance at $1,300. I think a lot of people are realizing that the ETF is probably not going to pass. They're afraid of a drop-off. No one's really wanting to buy in. This is the pullback that I was talking about. We might see a little more of this across the week if a majority of the speculators don't think the ETF will pass and try to bring it back down around the $1,000 mark where there was support. I think Bitcoin is still strong. I don't think we have much to worry about. I wouldn't buy any and I wouldn't sell any. I would just kind of let this week pass and go by. We got Ethereum coming in at $18.93. That's not bad. Still holding strong around the $19 mark. We got Litecoin coming in at $4.06. About the same as yesterday. We got Steam moving downwards at 9 cents. We got Monero coming in at $14.09. That's down from yesterday too. So maybe that talk of Monero pumping isn't realistic, or maybe it just dumped again so that there's another chance for people to buy in. We got Dash coming in at $44.30. Not bad. Still holding strong in the 40s. We got Zcash taking a little bit of a dip, coming down to $37.71. And like I said, I think that we'll continue to see Zcash pulling backwards little by little. All right, next up on Bitcoin and Coffee, I had a subscriber write me. They asked about Burst. They wanted to know what I thought of Burst. I personally hadn't done much research into it or messed around with it or anything. So I found myself with a little bit of free time yesterday, and I went and downloaded a Burst wallet. I watched some Burst videos. I looked it up on the internet and, Google searched it and everything. And, they have a very easy user interface. It is easy to set up for mining. I set up an old computer I have to mine. But what I'm coming up with is that, you're going to get $1 a month per terabyte that you use. All right, they do their mining on memory capacity. So they use, external hard drives and stuff like that to do their mining. A terabyte is going to get you about $1 a month. Their price is goes up and down a lot. I think it's 77 Satoshis right now. It was up to 120 Satoshis like a few weeks back. It sits around the 80 Satoshis a lot. So it's really hard to tell how much profit to make in there. So what would I say? What would I suggest? I wouldn't cash out my 401k and go invest it in Burst. I think if you got an old computer or you got some external hard drives, it's... hook them up, mine it. Why not, right? It's just like a faucet that you don't have to do anything for. Everything for a free Satoshi is wonderful. I looked into some of the assets. I didn't put any money into it, so I didn't mess around with it. But half of them, a majority of them look like they were scams for the assets. There's casinos and gambling. I'm not really much of a gambler. The stakes are against you always with gambling. That's the point in it, right? So what I would say is, it's something to look at. It's something to keep an eye on. It's something to, maybe trade a little if you see the opportunity to make some Satoshis. Maybe set an old computer to mine it so you can sell it out when the price is high. But as far as taking fiat currency and buying Bitcoin with it, and then taking that Bitcoin to the exchange and buying Burst with it, and then trying to hold it long term or investing it in their assets in exchange for a larger return that you can then turn back into Bitcoin to hold, I think you're probably just better off buying Bitcoin and holding it. The increasing value of Bitcoin is probably going to do better than any risk or gamble that you're going to do with Burst. And I think you'll come out more profitable in the end after fees and scams and what you lose and everything else and the up and down of the price. So that's what I have to say about burst. That's what I came up with. This was after just a few hours of research. I currently am mining burst. I guess maybe in a week or two I'll get back to this and let you guys know what I found more as I indulge into this deeper and continue with the mining and see what I personally come up with mining. The next thing is that Bitcoin prices for transactions are coming up around $1. This is pretty high. This is why a lot of people are saying to use Dash and other cryptocurrencies like Litecoin to move your money around. Smaller fees. That involves putting a lot of money in the exchanges and stuff like that, and that's never one of the best bets. Buy and hold, people. Buy and hold. What do you really need to buy? How much money do you really need to move around? And then if you do, I mean, do you need to move around such small sums where $1 is really that important? You know, if you're moving around large sums of money, what's $1 to move around, $100,000 or $500 even? Very minimal. If you like what you've heard here, go ahead and subscribe. Oh, one more thing. China's bank. I guess they're going to possibly be implementing Bitcoin licenses over there, a lot like what we've seen in New York. I think that this would be a bad thing for Bitcoin, but ultimately maybe a good thing, because at first it would be bad because a lot of China would cut down. There would be a lack of investing, which usually brings the market down. When people are all hyped up about China and what are they doing, the market tends to come down. I think long term, this is going to get everybody to stop looking at China after we have another period of non-Chinese interest. Everyone else looking all around at Bitcoin and around the world instead of constantly looking to China is a good thing. So at first bad, long term good. So ultimately I would like to see some sort of bit licensing or the Chinese government to step back in and continue with the regulations that they're overseeing already in the exchanges. I guess they're looking to give them some leniency right now while they implement rules and laws. I mean, it is what it is. So if you like what you've heard here, go ahead, subscribe, like, and link my videos. Down below, I have affiliate links to get you started at Coinbase. Get free $10 for every 100. 3% off at Genesis Mining. It's a great way to mine some of the smaller coins. I personally mine doggies. I also have my email address listed below if there's something you'd like to talk about or something you'd like to see on the show. This show is actually dedicated to a subscriber who wanted to hear about burrs. So go ahead and write me if there's something you'd like to talk about. As you can see, I'll go ahead and research it and give you a video on it if possible. Below, I also have faucet links that will actually pay you doggies and free BTC. And remember, people, keep your Bitcoin safe.